Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Sandra and this is my opinion. Today I want to talk about going back to our regular jobs. And in my case, that means going back to teaching in a school. It's been already a year and a half since I've been teaching online. And let me tell you, it has been tough, to say the least. And I think all the teachers will agree with me that we had to do a lot of stuff that we never thought we were going to do. On one hand, it was pretty nice that a lot of us had the technology to be able to continue our lessons. On the other hand, it showed how huge inequality we live in. And when I talk about inequality, I don't only refer to Latin America where I live. I refer also to the rest of the world. We've seen it. A lot of kids are being left behind because they don't have the possibility to have a good internet connection, a good computer, or means to get to their lessons. Where I live, the government decided to, I don't know, to film some teachers and some lessons, and they had special schedules through open television. Of course, that is not teaching. Of course, we are not expecting students to learn as much as they would when we're in a face-to-face class. But let's talk about what is it to actually teach online during this pandemic. Well, first of all, emotions, frustration. That's the main emotion running to all the teachers' minds. And I'm sure if you're a teacher, you felt it too. In the past, oh, well, usually when you're a teacher, you don't leave your work behind when you go home. And that's something that everybody knows. Us teachers are 24/7 teachers. We go home, we read essays, we check homework, we plan for the next day or for the next week in that case. And definitely that means that you live in your work. But as soon as the pandemic began, it was not just living, it was just breathing, sleeping, eating. Everything was just work. We tried to figure out ways how to teach, how to make students interested in our classes. And now we're not just fighting, I mean, not fighting, but competing against the other classmates. You know, when you're in class and the other classmate is way more important than the teachers, because of course the gossip is way more important than what the English teacher is saying. Of course, literature can wait. Math, I don't need it. Okay, so now we need to fight and we need to be way more interesting than YouTube, which I don't think we can do that. Even though we have tried, and we have tried really hard. Believe me, we have tried hard. I even master how to talk to a camera. Well, there you go. Of course, I did study theater before going to teaching, but into teaching. But it is it is so tough. And then it's not only YouTube. It's going against video games and going against the parents in the house and the other siblings who are also taking online classes. And then if you ask them to answer any question, you can hear the whole family in the background. You can hear the grandma cooking. You can hear the blender. You can hear people vacuuming. And we got used to it. I mean, we have done a lot of stuff. And sometimes we really want to just cry, just want to break down and cry and say, that's it, and I had enough. I can't not do this any longer. I think that was the emotion for the first 3 months, where you just woke up and it was like, okay, so let's do this and let's try to be funny and let's try to teach. And then your students are not getting it. You notice they are not getting it, but when you receive all the results in your test, of course they got 10, because let's talk sincerely. Parents help, brothers help, I mean siblings help, YouTube, Google, and then the tests are just a, a simple questionnaire that anyone can answer. And when you ask during the class, silence. I don't know if it happened to other teachers, but one of the things that I think hurts the most is when no one answers. And you ask, are you there? Is my connection, is my connection, am I working? Is the internet okay? Can you hear me? And teenagers are tough. Kids are tough. Let's be honest, the majority of them were taking their classes in bed. And it really breaks my heart, because in some point I definitely felt that I wasn't how am I going to play? In some point I felt that I wasn't reaching enough, and I thought that probably I'm very boring. But then I thought about it. How am I supposed to place this huge responsibility on a teenage student? They want to sleep. My classes began at 7:30. Teenagers don't wake up at 7:30. Their mind is all, it's not there. And then you have to stop for a minute and reconsider things. We have placed on all our students the biggest responsibility in the world. They are responsible of their own education now. They are responsible of paying attention. We can't ask for that. They weren't made for that. Our system wasn't made for that. We have been always there, making sure they were looking at us, paying attention, making sure they were writing correctly. They didn't have spelling mistakes. They were reading better. And now that we're not there, there's no one who's responsible. How can we do it? And so many times I'm sure that you, as well as I, want to reach through this screen and just show me your work. There's a mistake. And then there was the sad part. You get all these students who have lost their parents, who have lost a family member, who themselves got sick, and you can't do anything. And you went through birthdays, and you went through celebrations, and you went through Christmas, and we weren't there. And it hurts. And it hurts because at the end of the day, if you are a teacher like I am, there is nothing more precious than having a student there, than being able to hold that student, to guide them, to see in their eyes when they finally understand something, or when, even if it's not understanding, when they trust you enough to share their lives with you and their problems, and now they don't have anyone, and now their microphones are off, and now their cameras are off. And it makes me wonder, now that we're going back, how are we going to reestablished, rebuild? How are we going to fix that bridge that in some ways it got broken? How are we going to do it? It really scares me. Um, but if we if we manage to teach online and in so many cases being way more interesting than YouTube, way more interesting than video games, I think that when we're back, we're going to find a way. Yet, I think it's going to be hard, especially because our students have lost a year and a half. And not about just knowledge. Knowledge, I mean, at the end of the day, we know how to do it. If there's something teachers are proud of, is we know how to teach and how to spread the knowledge. But how are we going to fix their problems? They will come back with a lot of issues, depression, the majority of them, and families broken. That's what worries me. So that was my rant for today. If you have any other comments, please let me know. I'll see you the next time. Bye.